So apparently Discord is rolling out age verification, and they're going to start testing age verification for, well, basically everybody, and we're going to see how all of this plays out. I'm going to roll the volume down just a bit. Let me know how the volume between my voice is and the video. It's been a little loud lately. I'm trying to figure that balance out, but
it's happening. Age verification.
Oh, there we go. Age verification on Discord, ladies and gentlemen.
It's happening. Age verification is spreading. Discord age verification seems to now be going worldwide. Discord is expanding its age verification testing to include more regions beyond just the UK and Australia. We've confirmed that this is being tested with a small number of users in Ukraine, Austria, and Canada. However, it's likely that this is being tested worldwide.
And keep in mind, part of this is the laws that got passed in Australia, where if you are under the age of 16, it is illegal to have any sort of social media accounts in Australia. Now, the funny thing is, I highly disagree with those laws, and I think that what they should have done instead, really, if we're going to go there, is create a law instead of being like, oh, if you're under 16, you can't be on social media. What they should have said is that, parents who are so negligent that they're allowing their children to be online and meet people online and be groomed online, those parents should face charges, maybe lesser charges, as accomplices to this, or negligent parent charges, which we actually do have, for allowing your children to be in a chat room with predators. That's what I think should have happened, because I think instead of incentivizing Big Daddy government to be Papa Daddy for everybody, we need to disincentivize that, and we need to Isn't that still wanting government intervention? No, it's using existing laws that are on the books, not creating new laws. But yes, I see your point. More gun regulations? Huh? No, I'll talk with you about this in a few. But my wife brought up a good point. She's like, wait a minute, isn't that still government intervention? To a point, yes, it is. Also, to a point, what it does is it tells parents, hey, you need to be the parents. We can't be we can't be the arbiters. You're the heads of your household, and if you're just being a bad head of household and your children are getting groomed by these people and now causing harm to them because you're being negligent, okay, like if we're going after this person who harmed your kid, well, where were you as a parent? Right? It's not a perfect solution. Nothing in this world is a perfect solution. But again, I'm not for adding more laws to the books of like, oh, hey, by the way. But now, because of these laws being passed in these countries, the rest of the world is now going to have to age verify, even if they're not in the countries with these laws, right? Because it's just easy to roll out a blanket thing over everything, which means that everybody suffers from laws being passed in other countries. This is where we get into like this is where we get into like the global government, the one world government type conversations. And it's like, well, we don't have a one world government. Well, when a government in this country can pass a law, and then the tech across all of the countries that we interface with now follow that law, kind of sounds like we've got a one world government. And it's not fun, but let's get into this.
Reputable source for Discord news and updates. And Craft, who's a bigger YouTuber that we've talked about, has made some tweets that had me a little bit confused, and we're going to get into that in a second, but let's go ahead and watch his TikTok talking about it.
Okay, so Discord is adding age verification and age groups. This comes from a Twitter account called Discord Previews, which says Discord is expanding its age verification to include more regions beyond just the UK and Australia. It's likely it's being tested.
Well, yeah, this was always going to be something that was going to happen. There was never going to be... It wasn't they were just going to pass this in Australia and the UK, and it was only going to stay there. There's no way. A company is not going to isolate certain things like that. They're just going to pass blanket rules to make it easier on their end to run their companies.
Worldwide. And it's just like Roblox. You have to verify your age group, take a video, selfie, or scan your ID, and then they assign you to an age group.
Just a little clarification.
Take a video, selfie, or scan your ID. Do not scan your ID. Don't put your ID up there. The problem with all of this is that these companies get hacked constantly. And the more information that they ask from you, the more you are likely to be caught up in a hacking attempt of these major companies. And this is the big problem that I have with all of this. Well, actually, I have multiple issues, but let's just focus on one. Why do I need to give my information away, potentially putting me up for a hack where I keep my kids off the internet. Our kids are not allowed to have social media. My wife and I talk about it constantly. It's getting to the point where it's like, we don't even know if they're going to be allowed to have social media until they're out of the house because of things like this. Because even 16-year-olds can be very impressionable. And so my wife and I do our part, and yet we're being penalized for it. This is and the penalization comes from offering up our data, our information, and potentially being open to a hack or having our data in a massive company that keeps that information. And when they get hacked and lose all that information and all of that user data, now all of a sudden it's all of our problems.
Had age verification in Australia and the UK since about April of 2025. They are now expanding it to all these other countries and possibly worldwide. But Creekcraft made a tweet that had me pretty concerned, where he said Discord is now testing age verification in age groups. Was Roblox ahead of the curve, or did they start a massive domino effect? Creekcraft is now questioning whether Roblox was the one that started the domino effect on age verification, when in reality, myself and other YouTubers discussing age verification have been trying to tell everybody about this for like the last 5 or 6 months. YouTube was not the first social media to have age verification, but it was one of the biggest. So then we all started thinking, if YouTube is going to cave to age verification, does that mean that all social media websites will? And the answer was yes. So we've been making videos trying to tell people about this for months now. We've been talking about the fact that GTA is going to have age verification, Xbox will have it, Discord will have it. I mean,
everything is going to have it. When you have a multi-billion-dollar company like Roblox, and here is the thing, is it was all really quiet. When you have a multi-billion-dollar company, multi-billion-dollar company like Roblox, and all of a sudden you find out, oh, your kids are hanging out with predators, and that story breaks multi-nationwide, and all of these parents all of a sudden are going, oh my goodness, I had no idea. It's like, how have you not? My wife and I knew about the Roblox thing like 4 or 5 years ago. At one point in time, our kids did play Roblox when they were very young. Now our kids have only been able to play on their own private servers, never multiplayer or anything like that. And then when my wife and I were looking into this, we're going, wait a minute, this stuff is cropping up. Years ago, we nixed it. We had friends of ours going, hey, our kid wants to play with your kids on Roblox. And no, Roblox is banned in our house, period. And we would even tell these parents, and they go, oh, well, it's okay. Our kids know.
When I worked at Dollar General, there was a random lady who talked to me like a fucking hairstylist. Like, she just started spilling stuff. 13-year-old daughter started talking to a 45-year-old on Snapchat. And the first thing she said to me was, I don't know what to do.
So my wife just said, this is insane. That's right. So my wife was working at our local Dollar General, and this hairstylist comes in, and she's just spilling the beans. My wife's just trying to check out her stuff. This woman starts telling my wife how her 13? Her 13-year-old daughter, who had access to Snapchat, which, by the way, that's on the parents, that's their fault, had been in communication with a 45-year-old man. And this mother was like, I just don't know what to do. What do you mean you don't know what to do? Take everything away from the kid and explain the severity of the situation, and then own up to your child how you were a bad parent. And say, this is my fault. And again, all of this comes from parents not being parents. How are you giving a 12 or 13-year-old child access to Snapchat? That sounds insane to me. This coming from a person, I had a MySpace at like 11 or 12 years old whenever MySpace was popular, which I shouldn't have. But again, this was all new. My parents didn't know. This was brand new stuff. I grew up in that age. People our age grew up during this social media stuff. We know. And if you think it's just okay, that I like, what are you doing?
And we've been making so many videos about age verification, and then people would say things like, oh, we're milking it or whatever, when in reality, now it seems like some of the biggest content creators like Creekcraft, now they're thinking that it was Roblox that did it. No, Roblox's age verification was actually very recent. Age verification has been a problem for like 7 months now. We've been talking about this like nonstop, and it seems like even the biggest content creators aren't even really aware of the genesis of age verification. This whole recent age verification wave started because the UK started saying, yeah, you know, we need to make sure that our kids aren't seeing adult content, so we're going to add age verification to adult websites. And then it spread, like I said in other videos, the bubonic plague across Europe, all the way across the world, and to the point where a lot of countries, including the United States, are considering banning social media for teenagers. Those interesting.
Again, this is where I have the issue. Because if you can ban social media for teenagers because we don't want them to see bad stuff online, then all of a sudden you get certain people in power and they're like, well, we don't want people to see firearms. So we're just going to ban firearms websites unless you're age verified. Oh, and by the way, they would also pass simultaneous regulations to say, well, we need to make sure that age verification is good. So now companies need to keep records of that age verification. Again, do you see how this spirals? Whereas we already have laws on the books for negligent parenting, which again, I don't like because they are not used properly. But if we already have those books, why are we not just looking at parents and saying, look, as sad as it is, if your child gets involved with a predator online because you gave them access to social media, you are also going to face consequences as well. Because apparently you as a parent didn't care. We already have these books online. We already have these laws on the books. Sorry. Why are we adding new laws to something that we can already defend against with existing laws? Now, I'm not even a fan of the existing laws, but I'm really not. But if my stopgap measure is, hey, let's stop writing new laws that can cascade into into a furtherance of the loss of our rights as human beings, then you know what? Let's just hold off and let's just follow the laws that are already on the books. Again, I'm in favor of making parents who give their children social media access. I'm in favor of making those parents suffer the consequences if things go wrong. Because obviously they didn't care.
That he thought that it was Roblox that started the massive domino effect. But anyways, you guys are going to read some of these replies to the tweet, and it's going to make you guys scratch your heads a bit. So Discord Previews did actually correct him and say Discord has already been doing this in the UK and Australia since July 25, 2025 as part of the Online Safety Act 2023. Yes. However, they are now expanding this outside of the UK and Australia. So then he says, at this point, it feels inevitable that this won't be worldwide. Seems like every service and platform is moving towards age verification. I think he misspoke there. I think he meant to say, at this point, it feels inevitable that this will be worldwide. Yes. But then over here, who's replying over here? Mr.
Of course, it's going to be worldwide.
The delusional Roblox CEO that just keeps implementing change after change, even though the community tells him to not do it and to listen, and he just doesn't give a crap. So he wants to chime in and throw his 2 cents and say, or both, and basically saying like, oh, maybe it was Roblox that started it, or maybe, you know, age verification is just spreading worldwide. So like I said, keep in mind that this is the same guy.
The conversation became popular. The conversation became very, very popular because Roblox employs predators. They have employed predators. You can go look at those lawsuits on the books, and that they've had to fire some of those people. That's a thing. That's a thing. That they found that some of the people working at Roblox were in fact trying to groom children. Those stories are out there. When my wife and I heard about that years ago, we took our kids because like, what is this? What is this game? Like Roblox is, they will sacrifice your children all for money's sake.
It will implement change after change, AI age verification. Dating in Roblox is something that he proposed as well. And it gets to the point where this guy's probably one of the most out of touch CEOs out of there. He keeps making change after change on a Roblox.
He's not out of touch. He knows what he wants. Why would he want to institute? Think about this. Why would he want to institute dating on a children's game app? Because then all of a sudden it makes it harder to tell who's how old and what they're doing. So anybody who says, well, he's just an out-of-touch CEO. He's not out of touch. He knows exactly what he's doing. He, at this point, seems to be complicit in the activity that his company and some of his employees have taken place in. But again, we don't. That would all have to go to a massive legal case and go into discovery.
And he doesn't give a shit what the community thinks about it. But anyways, back to Discord. As Discord previews clarified, this is a situation where Discord has actually been doing this for a while in Australia and the UK, but now it is going to be spreading across the world. So what is exactly going to look like? So it's going to say over here, verify age group. We use age groups to determine access to certain experiences. This process is fast and easy. Here's how it works. Take a video, selfie, or scan your ID. These are not stored after verification is completed.
That's bullshit. It's always stored. It has to be stored because these have to follow the laws. And they have to make sure that if they're ever subpoenaed and they have to provide data, they have to be able to give this data over. There is absolutely, now unless it's just a log, but I do not believe this for a fucking second. Anything that you send to these companies, because they're doing it at the behest of lawmakers, has to be stored to be able to defend themselves in case they're ever subpoenaed and they have to go and testify in front of whatever government that is subpoenaing them. So no, these are not stored after verification. Bullshit. How many times have we heard this before? And how many times have been like, your information was exposed in a hack? And it's like, well, they told me they didn't store it. Yeah, that's a fucking lie. They have to store it because of the regulations.
Visit this later. Step 2, follow the steps. They're quick and easy. Step 3, we'll DM you the results. You'll know it's us from the official tag. So I already know what a lot of you guys aren't thinking. Wait, didn't Discord actually get hacked because of their age verification? Wasn't the third-party handler who was handling all the sensitive information like the video, selfies, and the IDs, didn't they get hacked? And didn't all those IDs get leaked? Yes, you're absolutely correct. That did happen. And that happened somewhere around the point of like October, I believe, where basically people were doing age verification on Discord in the UK and Australia, with about 70,000 users having their IDs potentially leaked after the hack. And I actually speculate that it's way more than this. A lot of people have been agreeing with that as well. Discord made an official statement about this where they're like, yeah, about 70,000 users could possibly have had their IDs hacked. But that doesn't...
It's okay. It's only 70,000. It's only 70,000. Guys, you know how many millions of people use it? It's fine. It's only 70,000 people whose data probably got hacked because, you know, we can't properly, you know, get rid of people's information. And but it's okay, guys. It's only 70,000. Only 70,000 people have had their information lifted from our servers and could potentially be used to ruin their lives. That's fine. What's 70,000 in the face of millions, guys? It's totally fine.
Doesn't really sound right because there have been so many more people who have done Discord ID age verification. I speculate that it's way more than that, but Discord doesn't want to say a huge number like something in the 100,000s or maybe even the millions because they know that it would make Discord look really bad. So I would assume that they just went with a 70,000 number because that sounds bad, but not as bad. It's much bigger.
And that was the joke that I was making.
Number. But anyways, so in terms of the Discord age verification hack, this actually came after the T-App hack. So there was an app called the T-App that was actually another ID age verification app where you were supposed to prove that I believe you're a woman. I believe the app was only for women. And so obviously people had to verify their IDs and age verification and all that crap. And guess what? They got hacked as well. That tea got spilled and all this information about all these women got leaked. So if that doesn't tell you that ID age verification, not only 1, doesn't work and 2, isn't safe, I don't know what will. However, there's also this one video that we've seen before on the channel that was talking about the Discord ID age verification hack, but I want to go ahead and watch it again because obviously this is about Discord and this information presented by this presenter, shout out to him, is more relevant than ever. Let's give this a watch.
Something happened recently which you might have missed because honestly from the outside it seems kind of small and technical, but I think it could be actually really important because it's a test. It's a test for the new era of the internet. So let me try and explain the first hack of the age verification era. So what happened is that Discord, which is a chat app, big, about 200 million users worldwide, reported that its age verification system had been hacked. Now, as you probably know, lots of governments are requiring that companies put in age checks on their sites if they host or link to any unsuitable or pornographic material. Discord did this. What was hacked wasn't the age verification system itself. For that, you would send in a picture of yourself, and then a third-party provider used by Discord would use their software to basically
Oh, it gets so much better. Discord's not even the one doing it. It's a third party.
guess your age.
Oh my gosh.
What was hacked?
Who sent this to me? Who sent this to me in the Discord? Who? Who did this? Why are you doing this to me? I was happy. I was cold because it's getting very cold and windy, but I was happy. I was happy. I could have just gone throughout my day and you're welcome. Oh, it was you. It was you, Jane Schultz.
Was the appeals process. Because if you thought that this system had got your age wrong, you could send in a picture of your government ID, your driving license or your passport, and a collection of these was hacked. And now, according to Discord, there are around 70,000 pictures of government IDs floating around on the dark web in the hands of hackers, which is bad. But
at this point, here's what I'm gonna say. If they're requiring this crap, like just for this, I mean, obviously, if a cop pulls you over, give them your ID, whatever. But these companies figure out how to like AI generate just something with your picture on it that'll pass this age verification. So that way they don't get your data, they don't get any of that crap. These companies don't deserve to see your real fucking ID that you carry around in your pocket. They can go promptly fuck themselves, as far as I'm concerned. But yeah, figure out how to Photoshop something that looks like your ID, but that way you can basically gain access. If you're a 45-year-old person and you're just like, I use Discord to talk to my Call of Duty guys. Do not give them your ID. Don't fucking do it. Don't do it.
unfortunately, I mean, hacks happen all the time. And the reason I think this one is...
Oh my gosh, I just thought about this thing too. Okay, hold on. Let me crash out for a second. Let's crash out. We're gonna I need to crash out about this. So, if you fail the age verification and they're like, well, you don't look like you're as old as you say you are. I'm like, well, yeah, maybe God blessed me. I don't know. I look young. But they're like, send in your ID. So you have to send in your ID. Well, guess what? You're allowed to just transfer pictures from your original ID to your new ID as you go. So you could be 10, 20 years older than you actually were when you took that picture. And guess what? That picture is still gonna look like you did the day that you took it. Because I don't know if you know this, that's a fucking picture's work. And so now they're gonna have to go, well, wait a minute, you look really young here, but your birthday says there. And it's like, what's going on? It's like, so we're gonna need you to send in more information. It just gets worse. The more I think about this, why would you? I knew this was happening. I just didn't want to. It just keeps getting worse.
Significant is because it's a test. Can governments actually police the internet and put in place the kind of barriers that you might get in the physical world? Or is this system going to collapse under its own weight? Because the things that we do to make us safe actually...
Dude, you've got the force of governments across the world and trillions of dollars. Trust me, the only way this thing collapses, you don't want to be around for that collapse. I promise you. Bad things happen. There's trillions of dollars and the force of military might behind this crap. It could fail, but I'm gonna be honest. I don't know if I'd want it to, because that sounds like a lot of bullets are gonna fly.
Make us less secure online.
The answer is no. They're not going to be able to effectively police the internet because VPNs exist and people are rebelling against
Oh no, they're already putting laws in place to protect against VPNs. There are certain countries out there that if you use a VPN, guess what? You're a criminal.
age verification every single day. Now, in terms of what we can do, this is something that I've mentioned in pretty much every age verification video as well. This is especially relevant if you live in the United States, but I'm sure it'll work internationally as well. Contact your local senators, representatives, or whatever they're called in your area. Email them and explain to them why you disagree with age verification law, why it shouldn't be implemented in social media. And
does this actually work? Because we know politicians lie about their views just to get elected. What did that lady that just got elected in Virginia straight up ran as like, I don't know, like some moderate Democrat, gets in, starts passing like socialist bullshit. Like, come on. They lie to us all the time. What do you think you're gonna send them an angry email and all of a sudden these politicians who were just like, well, you know, I was getting paid a whole bunch of money from these companies to pass this law that would absolutely benefit them, but your angry email made me, dude, does this shit even work anymore? These people don't give a flying fuck about. I mean, the only way to do this is to literally try to find a piece of property and go live your life on a homestead. But if you try to go do that now, they're just gonna Ruby Ridge your asses. You don't know what Ruby Ridge is, go look at that. Oh,
the potential risks of it. It's a point that we make.
Europe needs some new sons, right?
In every single video. Age verification is dangerous. Parents should be doing their jobs to parent their children. The government should not be getting involved with collecting our biometric data and information, because not only is it a violation of our privacy, but it's also a huge risk of us getting hacked, because a lot of these companies are using third-party apps to verify and hold all of our information anyways, just like Discord did, and that's how they got hacked. But yeah, there's a good website called netchoice.org that I've talked about before, a great activism group that is trying to block age verification laws across the United States, and they have a section over here that says campaigns, and they are campaigns against bad internet laws. So if you go ahead and click over here and go ahead and select one of the laws, you actually have an option to go down over here and contact your local representative. You go over here, enter your zip code, and it'll show the representatives of your area and their email. So you can go ahead and contact them, basically tell them why you disagree with age verification law.
Dear representative of my local area, kindly go sit on something very large and slightly phallic looking, preferably with thorns. Sit on it and spin. Also, fuck you.
And this will be a great way for us to actually
probably not the most effective email, but like it would express my displeasure.
Voice our opinions against this and let our senators and representatives know that we are against this. Will it be effective? I don't know, but it's better than sitting here and doing nothing, right? And in terms of age verification, like I said,
okay, he does have a point. Will it be effective? We don't know, but it is better than just sitting here. All right, I do have to give him this. You know, I'm going to share this video down in the chat below once it's done, because this is simply because I like the point that he said.
There are content creators like Creecraft who seem surprised about this age verification thing, and they think that Roblox started it. When in reality, like I said, I've been talking about age verification for months now, and it started way before Roblox, and it's just now going to get worse and worse. Let's do our parts. Let's contact our representatives, and let's try to stop the mass collection of information that the governments around the world are trying to do.
Abso-freaking-lutely. Okay, I like the cut of his jib. I think that's an old-timey way to say you should click the link that I'm posting down in the chat below, because I like the cut of his jib. See, that's the thing, though. All of this stuff, what people need to understand is they're like, I have nothing to hide. It's like, dude, it's not about you having anything to hide from these people. What it's about is making sure that you're able to keep your information secure in your own life, and you cannot guarantee these companies can do that for you. Because again, this is what Asmongold always talks about this, you know, second order effect, third order effect. It's like, okay, I take a picture and say, look, I'm fucking 34 years old. And they go, well, you know, you don't look 34. We, in fact, think you're lying about your age. I'm like, I'm not lying about my age. I am 34. I know I look young. My wife has made fun of me for it before. Like, I get it. Well, send us your government-issued ID. Okay, so now I send them my government-issued ID because they need that. They go, awesome, you're verified. Let's just say I'm super unlucky. 3 days later, that information gets hacked. They have my ID online. They go, they're like, sweet, we've got his government issued ID. We can go through all of the systems now and check where that ID is registered, and anything that we can pull from, they can start pulling out crazy amounts of information from you, and it's not fucking hard. It's called Google. The amount, you ever Googled yourself and then scroll down? Have you ever done that? Do that. Go Google yourself. Google your name. And then just scroll down to, it's usually like page 3 or 4, or sometimes even further. But you start scrolling down in the pages and all of a sudden you're just like, what the fuck? Why is this information just readily available on the internet? It's fun. It's so fun. I really actually like, yeah. Oh. And people don't think about that. Well, I'm not doing anything wrong. Motherfucker, it's not about you doing anything wrong. It's about the next guy who wants to do something wrong. And guess what? Now he gets your information. And you go, well, what? Why is there credit cards pulled out in my name? Why is all this stuff? Why is my life ruined? They're like, well, you didn't do anything wrong. Yeah, but somebody else did something wrong with my information. Oh, really? They did something wrong with your information that you freely gave away, and you were la-di-da-di-da, I didn't do anything wrong, so therefore I could just give my information away freely to companies that get hacked every 48 hours. I'm sorry, retards are ruining the world. At this point, I'm like, man, we need to just have IQ tests to whether or not you even get access to the internet anymore. Like, let's do that one. Hey, how smart are you? Are you gonna give your information away freely because you just think you're not doing anything wrong? Take an IQ test. Oh, you're not smart enough? Yeah, you don't get access to the internet. Period. No, let's not age verify this. Let's retard verify this. Oh my God. It just bothers me so much. Laws are not passed because smart people are living in smart ways. Laws are passed because stupid people do stupid things and open themselves up to evil people. That's why laws are passed. That's the whole argument about hey, maybe if you just went out dancing with your friends at a nightclub, young lady, you shouldn't walk down a dark alley. Be like, well, you're just victim blaming. Like, no, I'm retard blaming. Because now they use these instances to say, well, obviously this young unsuspecting woman, it's like, yes, she was retarded. She shouldn't be in a bad part of town doing stupid stuff. You should not be freely offering up your information online to companies that can't secure your data. Well, because it's gonna get hacked and now you're gonna get fucked with. Are you victim blaming? Fucking no! Stop it! Oh! Does that make sense? Was that even a coherent analogy? It just, oh man. Why did I do this? Why did I be like, hey chat, you should show me the things that's on your brain. Chat, your brain scares me, specifically Jane Schultz. If you guys are watching the VOD, please comment down below. Let me know what you guys think. And as always, I'm going to turn it over to the chat right now and talk with them. And if you guys are watching the VOD, I'd love to actually see you guys on Monday nights and Thursday nights.